you pull up the slide from financial and revenues for me? Now, I was initially worried that I was gonna have to fight her after that presentation for so much she done. But now I'm more worried about the marshal because I don't want to touch the dais. So I'll just stand back a little bit because I'm not going back in their office. Not that one, the one that listed all the monies that they got. The one before that, right? The one before that. There it is.
Oh, he's talking about my screen.
Well, I'm not, I'm talking about the revenue sources.
Okay.
That's the one. First of all, let me tell you that the job that you've given me is a jack of all trades. And when I hear everybody here tonight, I've heard all the different things they've done. I go, I was there. I did that. We talked about this. We talked about that. And I think what it really is, this has been a team effort from everybody. There has not been anybody that didn't reach into somebody else's silo and help make it work. And that's what we've done. It was just listening to the marshal, and the marshal was talking about the ORI number that he had gotten. Well, let me tell you what the holdup was on the ORI number. We could not find who held our original charter. So it was up to me to go search through state government. Took me 2 weeks and 4 or 5 agencies, but I finally came up with who was holding the original charter. We had to get a certified copy and send it to the state so we could get an ORI number. Who ever thought that was going to be one of my jobs this year? Now, you think that might be a crazy job. Let me tell you the job that the city manager and I did with the chief. We went and got the original police cars from Woodstock, and we're driving them back. Now, that's crazy enough. Let me tell you, you do not want to be driving a blue light police car through another jurisdiction, and you're not police. It will scare you. And that was pretty scary, but the chief and I, we weren't sure we were gonna get here, and so we were still in Cobb County, or no, I guess we were in Cherokee County. We pulled in when we had to pull into the auto store, and since we didn't have P cards yet, you know, I financed the 2 batteries that got us home. Now, I didn't ever think that was part of the city attorney's job either, but I was reimbursed. But that's the kind of, just this multitude of things that we've been doing. Every single thing to this minutia, everybody is in the middle of, and there is a ton of minutia to start. So I'm going to go over this, but I was interested in seeing this revenue sources. And I think that when we look at these things, and I look at how did we influence as the lawyers. We'll start out with the building permits there. And because at 12:02 on January 1st, the county sent out notices and canceled everything. There were innumerable people who were in process and who were already paid. Had already paid, and the city made a determination, no matter what, we were going to honor and do the right thing by these people, and that is to your credit, that was your decision. And then we went to work on seeing how we could get the money back. And so with the leadership of Leader Administration and Senator Dixon and the mayor and the council members who went up to the legislature and testified, and to the city manager who went and testified and also worked behind the scenes, we were able to change, affect some legislative changes that forced the county, that $300-something thousand finance doesn't know where it came from. I will tell you where it came from. It came from a change in the state legislation that we initiated, and I was part of that initiation, to go ahead and get that change, and then they had to write us a check. And that was, we don't know if it was all the money, but that was over $300,000 of money that they took that they were not going to give us originally until I drafted the original legislation and we got that back to the legislature. So that's one thing. The business licenses. And that was another thing that was pre-planning. The business licenses we issued for 2025 and the money that we got from those licenses was because of pre-planning that we did and go ahead before you all were on January 1st, how we did strategically, got you to go ahead and notify the county that we were taking that over so they could not collect those funds legally. And we got that money because of strategy that we did and we presented to you to get there. Same thing, the big one really is that $4.3 million. You are the first city who has ever, in the existence of all the startups of every city that we've had since Sandy Springs, that ever got that money in the first year. And that is because of some ideas we had on let's go change the process to go ahead, because you have to wait for your census, right? And the legislature had a formula of how you calculated. We went ahead and we looked at the law beforehand, and prior to January 1st, 2025, we had you guys go ahead and notify the insurance commissioner that we were collecting. And we met the criteria. We negotiated with the insurance commissioner that he would accept a methodology that was different before. We drafted legislation, presented it to the leader and to the senator. The mayor was out there answering every question in the session. The city manager sitting there and working behind the scenes. And we literally changed the way the insurance commissioner calculates how he gives dollars to cities, and to the credit of all of you and the hard work of the city manager, we got to sit and Congressman Clyde, we got the Census Bureau to give us numbers that they never give anybody in their first year. Mapleton was still arguing about their numbers from the Census Bureau, and they've been in existence for years now. But we got that done in the year of 2025, and we got an alternate methodology for counting people for the insurance commissioner, which resulted in an additional $4.3 million for the city in the first year. So that's one of the things we got done. I think that's pretty much on the things. Well, we had franchise fees. We did that too, because we went ahead and pre-planned, and we had you all vote to go ahead and take over a certain piece of the right-of-way control that you had, and that was the issuance of the franchise, the ability to put their lines in. We left the county with the responsibilities for upkeep of that, but we took responsibility of that as we were entitled to before January 1st, so we could start collecting franchise fees from all the people who run all that. I don't know what it is, Tim, but you know all that. Thank you. Yes, but all that. I know how to get you the money. I just don't know what it is. But we did that. And what I'm talking about is that strategy. And those are the things that I think that we brought to you, that we maximize our ability to have monies in the first year. Now let me say that you, the council, and the city manager, and they told me I only had about an hour to talk to you.
No.
Because he's looking at but we did his ability to and this is, and I've done a lot of this, but his ability to sit here and bring up this city with a 0 millage rate is nothing short of a miracle. And to be able to deliver, for you all to be able to deliver services that you're delivering at the rate that you're delivering, is nothing short of a miracle with a 0 millage rate too. But you have done that. Now, after all this, I'm going to just tell you what we did. We drafted and reviewed, or implemented, and Rebecca did the lion's share of all the foundational ordinances to start the city. We started the Mulberry Municipal Court, we drafted all the enabling ordinances, we advised on court operations, we supported the implementation. The court didn't really collect a lot of money, but let me tell you what we did do. We collected we pushed out into the infrastructure over $300,000 worth of monies that we forced people to spend back in infrastructure where they done wrong things in the community. You know, one alone did they gave us put $232,000 in a bond that's sitting in I think in our tree fund right now, and they are going to get to draw against that to remediate property, but whatever they don't spend on the remediation, we keep in the tree fund. So we you know, that's almost $250,000 just on one property we made them fix. We made people fix. This is this year, but just last week we made somebody put in $23,000 cash and post a cash bond on this week. So we've made people spend over $300,000 through the courts and through code enforcement to remediate properties they've done wrong. And that's a lot of money. And that is a physical infrastructure that we've been able to do. We helped implement and develop the marshal's office. We drafted all the stuff for their startup. We've done courtroom training. We've trained the acting court clerks. We've helped in training of the acting municipal clerks. We've been on call. We've been here full time, and we've been on call 24/7, 7 days a week. Sometimes I will try to bother the mayor at 2:30 in the morning and send him things. He's learned now to turn his cell phone off. And the other, I guess the other thing that we did is this, I think, was big import, is we worked with the legislature and with the city manager and the big annexation legislation, and we captured quite a number of the larger properties that are right around our city, and for the purpose of, we didn't take a lot of people, but we took larger properties because you had seen that there was an unrestrained rezoning that was adjacent to our city that was going to impact our city, and you took control, and we were thankful to be able to help you do that, of those larger properties, so that it would not, county zonings would, on big pieces of property, were not going to adversely affect our citizens, and actually the people who came in, they were going to be better off too from what you did in changing that. So I think those are the major things we've done, and I will echo what Rebecca said. I am thankful that you have allowed us to do this. It brings to me and my staff a lot of fulfillment that we have jobs that are able to help you and help the citizens of Mulberry, and we look out with pride at everything that you've done and everything that all the staff has done, and thankful and hopeful that we can continue that in the future. Thank you.
I'll say real quick too, is that I'm a lawyer by trade, and this man, we get the value we get of having him on this team. There are law firms with 20 to 30 lawyers that do not know what this man knows. And so we get, for the cost of one lawyer, we get better than I see at firms with 20 to 30 lawyers. So thank you, Bill.
Thank you. Appreciate